Howdy, folks. What's going on? This is the Outlaw Hatfield back at you one more time. Hey, guys, we're going to have a good show tonight. I got with me here Gun Snob. How you doing, Bubba?
I'm great, but I don't know about good show because I'm here.
Well, we will do our best to put on a good show. How about that?
Okay.
We're going to do a roll call here. We got Scott P79 out there, Mr. Guns, the Gun Snob. You know, when the guest starts telling you how bad they are, I start worrying. when the guest tells you how bad the guest is, it's weird. We got Gizzard Gary out there, of course. Gizzard's always out there. Gizzard's one of the best buddies I got. Gun loving Grandpa made an appearance for a few minutes. Southpaw RX, how you doing? Dazzle us with your snobbiness, he says. Okay, that's got to be the first question. How did you come up with the name the Gun Snob?
Oh, Lord. I don't know. I was sitting there whenever I decided to do this YouTube thing. I just got back from NRAM in Dallas. And like the whole way back, I'd been thinking about it. And it's a 5-hour trip. So I was sitting there thinking about it the whole way driving back and stuff. And I spent probably a week trying to come up with a name. And I had 20 different names in my head. I don't even remember any of them now. But finally, I was like, yeah, let's do the Gun Snob. Because I'd like search them and see if there was any channels with that name or anything. And when there wasn't, I was like, let's do it. And I'll kind of, because I started out, I was just going to do, budget-minded stuff because, well, I'm poor and couldn't afford to buy expensive stuff. So I was going to do it that way and kind of be a little punny or something. But it stuck and it worked, I guess. So here I am.
It seems to have worked out well for you.
So far.
Yeah, let's hope it continues. I just see C4 Defense joined us. How you doing, Sarge?
Yeah, you can't trust him. He's a road pirate.
Yeah, well, we take what we can get on this show.
He's going to take mean here anytime.
We will take what we can get. I did an interview with Sarge a couple years back, I think. Good interview. He's a good guy. I do give Sarge a little leeway when it comes to wrestling because, well, his opinions and mine differ on some things, but that's okay.
Oh, Lord, wrestling chat.
That's okay. I'll overlook his flaws as long as you overlook mine. So what really set you off? What got you to the point where, okay, I really want to do the whole YouTube thing? What was the catalyst?
I went to NRAM in Dallas, and I've been on YouTube for years watching and consuming content, and I went to NRAM in Dallas and got to meet a bunch of the bigger channels and all them, and they were all just down to earth, nice as could be, and I'm not talking huge channels, but like, one of them was Johnny from 182nd Ideas. Just whenever I got to meet him in Dallas, he just treated you like you were the nicest guy. He'd known you forever, and he was just the nicest guy in the world, and just treated you like he was nobody special, which he wasn't nothing huge then. He was like 20,000 back then, but still, that's a big number on YouTube, and you learn how big it is whenever you start doing YouTube.
Yeah.
But and he just really, I thought he was pretty cool, and then Mac was just nice as can be, and just talk, and I thought, I know I'll never be nothing like them, but I'd like to do it. Why not? And I actually had the money set aside for a tax stamp for a suppressor. And I went and spent that on my first camera instead of a tax stamp for a suppressor.
Yeah, there you go. We're glad we are glad you made that decision. We're happy about that.
Some out there in the chat probably aren't.
We have Midnight Rain showing up. Two Gun Kitty, the Catnip Outlaw. That's one I haven't seen before.
Oh, he probably came around about the time you left. He was in New Mexico, and now he's in Texas. He's a pretty nice guy. He's on Gizzard's show quite a bit on Sunday mornings.
And G23 is out there. Welcome, gentlemen and or ladies. So we're going to have to talk a little bit about the whole top 5 video or top 10 video you made the other day. What went into you actually getting all that data together? How long did all that take?
A long time. Here a while back, we went on vacation, and on the way back, after we got back, I started looking up videos about, because I wanted to go back on vacation. I started looking up videos about states, and I seen this channel called World According to Briggs, and it's a pretty good sized channel. And he did a really good job, a lot better job than I did of those style videos. Mm-hmm. And he does them for all different reasons, but he never put, guns into the mix, of course. So I was like, I think I can do that and put guns into the mix. So I sat there, and I bet I spent at least 2 weeks doing all this. And of course, Sarge and Obnoxious just arbitrarily made up the list, which, that's fine. I did. But no, I started just figuring out what states went where and all that. So, and then there it went.
So where did you compile the data from?
Oh, Lord. Everywhere. Everything from USCCA to the ATF, as a matter of fact, for the FFLs. And then the census, I don't remember, whatever that was online, Census Review. And what else was there? Oh, the Bureau of Labor Statistics for the unemployment. I don't remember what sites, the cost of living and how far a dollar went, and I even used stuff like median income and all that too in there.
It was a good video. It really was. You need to be proud of yourself on that one.
Well, it's going over pretty good. Except for I turned around and made one right after it that I thought would be even better than it, because I thought I did a better job on it, and it hadn't got no views really. It was my dumbest gun laws. I enjoyed it.
Okay, so in your opinion, which state had the absolute dumbest gun law?
Well, my dumbest gun law was the pistols out of state, so it was federal law.
No, yeah,
I agree. Out of state.
Yeah,
but Maryland's was pretty bad. Their magazine banned, but you can still own them. You just can't buy them in state. That was pretty bad.
So, Midnight Range TM does not want us to mention the fact that there is going to be a 2A rally at 11 p.m. tomorrow in Harrisburg.
11 p.m. They're doing it tonight?
Or 11 a.m. Excuse me. Excuse me.
I'm confused because half the time he says it's at 10 in Harrisburg, PA at the Capitol. And next time he says 11. So, I mean, is he just telling me 10 so I'll be there early or what?
He's a Travi. He can't tell time. He just guesses. Sometimes he gets lucky, but he just guesses. But yes, guys, there is that rally tomorrow. If you're in that area, please show up, give them some support. We all have to do our part when it comes to the whole 2A thing. Hey, and even if you're close enough to get there from another state, head on.
Important question. Is Midnight handing out little cookie bar things again? Because he did that one time.
Are you handing out cookie bar things, Midnight?
This is important. I mean, I got to know if it's worth my 12-hour drive or 14-hour drive, whatever it is up there.
Well, I'm not sure what that means, but okay. But there is that taken care of. So, I also know that your wife does this. How did you get her involved? Or did she just, or was it just a natural progress?
Yeah, she really doesn't do much anymore. She just kind of goes on Rich's show every now and then, and somebody else's every now and then, Jason's. But, well, I don't know. She got to hanging out and meeting all these people and stuff, like at the gun show, and she met Arminthia and Jesse and all them and stuff, and then she got in with them doing Gun Gals till it kind of died out. But, so I don't know really how she got into it, which she never did want to shoot for the longest time. She didn't ever want to shoot it. I mean, had no interest. And I'd bug her about it, and she'd go out and shoot, and I'd bug her about it. And then finally one day she's just like, I want to go out and shoot. So she started shooting quite a bit.
Don't you love it when that happens?
Mm-hmm. Except for she stole my Glock 42, so,
Yeah, I have heard that that's becoming a thing. Guys take girls to shoot, and all of a sudden the girls steal the guy's favorite guns. It's weird. A certain gunpowder beauty has kidnapped somebody's 1911 and refuses to turn it over. Of course, he's probably not in much of a position to argue with her about it.
Yeah, when you're in a dungeon, it's hard to argue.
Yeah, pretty much. She's going to kill me for saying that, by the way. Mm-hmm. But that's okay. I'll die happy.
I'll blow her a kiss. She loves me.
Well, throat punches for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Except for, I think the only one that would be safe would be Gary. Because he never says anything to offend anybody.
That's what you think. Ask my wife. She's mad at Gary half the time because of our little text chat we have with us four in it. Gary's kind of just about as guilty as the rest of us at picking on her, anyways.
Oh, he just does it on the sly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So before the show started, we were talking about some of your favorite guns that you own. And you were telling me about two that your grandfather or your dad had given you.
Grandfather, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about those.
One of them is a Mossberg 640 KC Chuckster, 22 mag bolt action. It's nothing special at all. Which actually, I said my grandfather. It actually came from my uncle, which was my grandfather's brother, technically, but he's dead also. And then the gun that my grandfather left me was a Remington 1148 semi-auto 12 gauge. And they're, like I said, they're neither one anything special at all, but they're just guns I wouldn't get rid of just because of where I got them.
Sentimental value means a whole lot to a person, especially when it comes to firearms. You might have a gun laying around that don't mean nothing to nobody, and you couldn't get $10 for it in a pawn shop, but you love it to death because, well, it's got some kind of sentimental value. I've got one sitting beside me right now that I wouldn't get rid of for anything in the world. I mean, I would sell everything I got before I got rid of this one. And it's not expensive. It was less than $300 when I bought it. So, but it holds up and it shoots, and that's all that matters. Now, what are some of the upcoming videos you've got planned? We talked about one. Anything we need to be looking forward to?
I'm going to do one on the top 10 worst states because this one went over so good with the top 10 best states. I figure might as well do that. Beyond that, I don't know what I'm going to do next. Sarge keeps telling me to quit doing top 10s. Don't just keep doing them. But, I mean, this one's got me a ton of views in just a few days, so I hate to give it up just yet.
Well, hey, if it makes you happy, do it. Sarge, you get over it.
I really actually enjoyed making the video. I'm kind of a nerd anyways at times, and like I don't know. I like history, but that really wasn't a history thing. But it was more of a geography, and I enjoy stuff like that. So I enjoyed making it. It was a lot of work. But
well, see, that can be something you could do. Pick out a few guns that you really want to research and get to know and do the history on. And
well, see, I did that. You probably weren't around when I did it, but I did a whole series the first of this year called This Old Gun. I did eight videos on it, and I got some really neat guns, but I put a lot of work into them and all that, and they just tanked. I mean, the best one may have 4,000 views. The other ones have 400 views, or some of them do. So, I really like doing them because I love like the history of guns and stuff. And I had like an endless supply of old guns between me and, family members and friends and, guns that weren't just anything special. They were just neat guns.
So who was the biggest influencer on you in your life when it comes to firearms? Who got you started?
I mean, I guess my dad. I grew up hunting and, on a farm. So we always had all sorts of guns around and, just always had guns all my life growing up. But then, well, my buddy that I went to school with and grew up with, of course, we shot together and stuff too, but he got into law enforcement. Of course, his dad was a state trooper, and he got into law enforcement. I ended up going to the range with him, and that's really what got me into handguns, because for that, we just, I'd shot handguns. We had a few. I had a revolver and stuff, but nothing like into it actually like shooting, defensive shooting, I'm going to say. I got to go on the range with him and ended up getting into law enforcement because of him for a while. So that kind of got me into handguns anyways, the defensive side of it.
Yeah, I happen to agree with Ghost what he said here. If you want to do the videos, do them. Don't worry about the views. Just do what makes you happy.
It's just they're a lot of time, and I have all intentions of doing another season. It's just time wise, and they don't gain me anything. I enjoy doing them, so I will do them again at some point. But just right now, it's just I don't have the time to do them.
Let's see. We've got
another series of them.
We got a few more that's joined us here. We got George Cortez, Lead Lights out there. Ghost Tactical, of course. Kingpin's out there. Howdy, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your support. So you said you grew up hunting. What was you hunting mostly? Small game, deer, what?
Anything that moved when I was a kid.
Anything
I got a little bit of trouble for some of those things. Good thing that statute of limitations is passed.
Well, I will say this. When I was younger, there probably wasn't a bird safe in a neighborhood if I had a pellet gun.
But I learned one thing: meadowlark stew is not that great. And when you shoot a meadowlark and your dad makes you make meadowlark stew out of it, it's not that great. So you learn not to just shoot everything.
Yeah, I'd say that had a weird taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
But, so how old was you when you dropped your first deer? That's a good question.
I was in second or third grade. So what would that have been? 10 years old, 11 years old? Something like 10 or 11. I don't even remember. He's still hanging on the wall at my dad's house. For some reason he kept that deer, even though I killed it. But I think something about him paying for it being taxidermied stayed at his house.
I think it has more to do with the pride of the fact that was your first deer kill.
Yeah, maybe. He's probably worried I'd lose it or tear it up when I was younger.
Yeah, the whole pride thing. My boy just killed his first one.
Obnoxious.
Did I miss something here? Let's see.
Obnoxious just said it tastes like lemons. It didn't really taste like lemons.
What did it taste like?
I don't remember. That was, Lord, 30 years ago, probably, or close to it.
Lord, we start going back that far. I feel old. Lord have mercy. 30 years. I can't even tell you where I was at or what I was doing 30 years ago. Good Lord. So who were some of your favorite gun channels to watch before you got into this?
Oh man, before I got into it.
There's always those influences. There's always those guys.
Well, I hate to admit one of them because anymore I have no use for him, but it was Yankee. I really liked Yankee at one time. Now I don't. I don't agree with some of the things he says or does anymore. But at one time I thought he was an excellent one. And then, of course, I watched the big ones and stuff too, the Hickox. And I really, really liked Iraq Veteran before Barry died.
Yeah, that.
I haven't cared for it hardly at all since then, but
I kind of miss Barry. He brought something to Iraq Veterans channel that really made it stand out, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way he put things down to brass tacks and got the messages across. We lost him. We lost a good one. We really did.
Yeah, he was great. I actually seen a video here a while back, and I hardly ever watch any big gun channels anymore. And I was scrolling through my homepage, and a video popped up, which I'd probably seen 10 years ago, but it was a video with Barry, and I went back and watched. I don't remember what it was. Now it was top 5 guns for something. Top 5 guns for when the man comes, or something. I don't remember, but it had Barry in it. And I just went back and watched it just because he was in it.
It had Barry in it, yeah.
Just a good one.
Well, I do that too. I have actually went back and watched some of those videos. The guy that passed more recently, and I've went back and watched some of Mr. Holster stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hate not seeing those shows every week. You know, so when I found out Mr. H had passed away, it sort of broke my heart. But I stopped to Scotsman today. It's good to hear that his wife's still doing fairly well. So say a prayer for her. So if you had to, at a moment's notice, pick up 3 guns to take to a range, you don't have time to think about it. What 3 are you grabbing?
Just for fun, huh?
Just for fun.
My Ruger PC carbine, my Smith & Wesson 5906, and number three. I'm gonna go with a bolt action of some sort. Maybe model 70 probably, and 22-250. Something like that.
22-250. Wow.
Something you can have some fun with. I
Yeah.
enjoy shooting bolt actions. No Gizzard the
Now,
Outdoor is not on that list.
now is that 22-250 the one with the big bull barrel?
No, I don't have. I've got 2, but neither one of them have that.
Now I had a cousin that had one of those, and he had a great big bull barrel on it. That thing must have weighed 15 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Those are great. I had a buddy that had one for prairie dog hunting.
Man, you want to talk about an accurate rifle at that distance.
I'd shot his years ago, Creston's, and his was I don't even remember what it was, but it had the big bull barrel, and you put it on a bench. And of course, that was before bipods were really popular, anyways. I mean, maybe I didn't know they may have been popular, but I didn't know anything about them, and he probably didn't either. But we just set it on a sandbag on a bench, and it wouldn't even hardly move off the sandbag when you when you shot it. Sweet guns.
I look down, the first thing I see is New York Outcast talking about, yeah, man, I'm at a hotel.
And he emailed midnight. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you two have fun with that. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to know. Just good luck. I will say that. Midnight, you might want to bring snacks. That's I'm gonna just leave it there. Wow. I don't know what you people are talking about in my chat tonight. I guess that's what I get for not really paying attention. Ghost, keep an eye on these people. Yeah, but do you remember shooting as a kid? And I'm almost 50 years old. I'll be 50 in 3 years. So when I first started shooting when I was young, hearing protection, eye protection, all of that was just, that was never even thought about or talked about or heard of. You wanted to shoot, you just grabbed your gun and went to shoot. You didn't. So years go by, and now everybody's wearing it, and it's like second nature. When you go to shoot, you got your ears on, you got your eyes on, everything's going to be safe. Did you have any trouble adapting to that?
Glasses, no, because I wear sunglasses all the time, so that doesn't bother me. But ear pro, maybe a little. But I never once wore ear pro till I got into handguns. I mean, I don't remember ever wearing it with rifles or anything. Of course, it wasn't like I was out shooting 100 rounds out of a rifle at a time. You shot 2 or 3 rounds, and then you shot it when you was hunting or doing whatever. Other than a 22. A 22 is a different story. But I still am a terrible hand at wearing ear protection when I shoot a 22 rifle, anyways. And that's why I came here. But
Yeah, so
that.
I figure you and I are pretty close to the same age bracket anyway.
I'm a couple years younger.
So, if you was a kid in the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. It's just, ear protection, eye protection. The first time I had a guy look at me and says, "Well, do you have your hearing protection?" I looked at him and said, "For what? Why do I need hearing protection?" And then, it just never dawned on me that was something that I actually needed or was expected to have.
Lord, we
Because
never had it growing up, and I mean,
no,
shotguns. We shot skeet all the time growing up, and never had hearing protection.
no, we didn't even think about it. You know, and it's not just that. I mean, we'd shoot guns, run chainsaws. Never even thought about hearing protection. Go out and shoot 44 magnums. You hear it be ringing for a week after you pull the trigger 6 or 7 times. Just that's normal. That's part of shooting. And then I guess in the early 90s is when the whole hearing protection and eye protection thing started catching on real big. So it's it is what it is, and I agree it's very important. It's just for me and my time period coming out, it was just one of those things, man. You just didn't do it. It wasn't thought about.
Mm-hmm. I noticed the other day, I was shooting a little bit the other day, and I was shooting a rifle, but it's my brother's, but it's a 16.5-inch Ruger. What is that thing? Anyway, it's a bolt action 300 blackout, and it's got a brake on it and stuff. And I didn't even think about it. I just wasn't thinking about it and didn't pick up my ears. I had him out there. I just set him on the bench and didn't pick it up because I had him on and he did something, was trying to adjust the scope, and he kept missing. I said, "Oh, it's just you." And I just sat down behind it and shot. And I was like, "Wow, that really rings your ears with that break and that short barrel." And I didn't even think about it.
Yep.
I think my ears are more sensitive now that I wear them all the time, pretty much, except for, like I said, 22.
Well, I think 22 is one of those that's surprising because it's not like a handgun, but it's got a whine to it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's ever shot a 22 knows that little sound. It's very sharp, and I think that's probably does more damage to one's ear than the loud explosive sounds of a handgun. But I could be wrong. I have no science to back it up. I'm no scientist. Um, So, are you planning on going to any of the shot shows or anything like that in the near future? I know we got a shot show coming up. If Watermaker coming up as well, I'm not sure if there's going to be anything going on there though.
Well, Clover said he talked to him. I think Clover said it earlier. He talked to him and said they were still on, but I'm a little concerned because the mayor in Tulsa, of course, I live just outside of Tulsa. I live an hour outside, but he's pretty stuck on this coronavirus stuff. So I'm a little concerned he'll shut them down. But they're still saying they're having it, and same with Shot. They're still saying they're having it, and they open registration, so we got registered. Of course, I went to Shot last year. Me and Gary drove out there together. That was a fun trip. We drove straight through, about 18 hours out there.
I bet that was fun. Mm-hmm. 18 hours with Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy.
He slept a lot of it. He didn't like my choice in music. Something about old country music wasn't his thing or something, or red dirt country.
Now, what's wrong with old country music?
I know it may have been the red dirt country that he didn't like.
I mean, if it would have been me, we'd been listening to Red Savine, Teddy Bear.
I'm fine with Red Savine. Phantom 309. Yeah, 309.
Yeah.
Been a long time.
Yeah. I can talk to you about some old country music.
Gizzard says that and him rolling down the window every 5 minutes. You shouldn't have fed me before we went, Gizzard.
So you had a little issue, did you?
Well, I was just making sure the car smelled fresh.
We have a night strike out there, and I do believe I saw a tactical leprechaun. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he was mouthing me something about smelling like an Okie or something.
Yeah. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with Okie. I lived in Oklahoma for a while. I lived in a little town called Colgate.
Really?
Yep.
I've been to Colgate a few times. Down by Ada McAllister area.
Yep. Worked in Atoka.
Or Toka, that's what I meant, not Ada. Atoka is what I meant.
Yep.
Yeah, I've spent plenty of time down there because I work all over the state. So
What do you do for a living?
put together double wides mainly. Do trim, siding, drywall, stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess you are all over the state with that.
I work
You work.
for dealers out of Tulsa. I'm a contractor out of Tulsa, but they sell them all over.
You work for one of the big manufacturers, or
It's a Clayton lot, so yeah, it's one
yeah,
of the biggest
yeah.
one actually. Contractor.
I've never seen too many small Clayton Homes lots.
No,
They've normally pretty good size.
they have 3 in Tulsa. They're all different names, but they've got 3 in Tulsa, and I do work for all 3 of them.
First Sonic I ever went to was in Atoka. Ghost, I have been to that one several times myself. So, yeah, I guess I was out in Oklahoma for 6-8 months. It was quite a while.
I thought I was just going. When you said it was quite a while, I was thinking 6 or 8 years, not 6 or 8 months.
No. To me, that was quite a while. See, I'm not used to being anywhere more than a couple years at a time. Period. I'm here for a couple of years and then I get bored or whatever and move somewhere else. That's just the way I've been for the last 20 years of my life. So, in fact, I'm probably been in South Carolina longer than I've been anywhere in the last 15 years. But yeah, I've been all over the country, man. No, actually, Nice says I like to travel. Actually, I hate to travel. I hate traveling more than anything in this world. And yet I've been all over this damn country. But I've seen things that a lot of people's never seen. And I have memories to take with me. So
Ghost.
witness protection takes you to places. I wonder what I'm hiding from though. Not too much, I don't guess. Considering everybody knows what I do, where I do it, and how I do it. Not much of a secret. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to open this up. We're going to let the chat get in on this. If you have any questions for either me or the Gun Snob, type them out. We'll get to them. Dude, howdy. Bread.
I've got a question. I've got a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
You may know the answer to this. My dad just texted me. Do they make like a longer mag / not even capacity wise, but like a pinky extension for a Ruger LC9? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think they do.
I figured they probably did. I'll Google it for him here in a minute, but I thought they probably did.
I think they do make one. I'd have to really look into it, but I know Ruger has this thing where they like to throw that pinky extension on just about everything they've got. You know what that bread means? I'm assuming that that's toast. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking to a gentleman here the last several weeks. He's interested in getting on YouTube. His name is Buttered Toast, believe it or not. So, and he wants to start the whole YouTube thing. And I told him, I said, you know what? Come listen, hear what we do here, and get your feet wet with it. So, Toast, we are glad to have you, Bubba. Actually, he's going by Dude here, but everybody make him welcome.
Hi, Dude.
Yep. But yeah, this is what we do, man. This is what we do. It's nothing special. Powdered toast, man. Midnight, you can't eat him. He might be into it, but no. Lord. Question, the Gun Snob. Did Johnny B or anyone else help you with some constructive feedback on your recent videos?
Just Sarge and Obnoxious.
And what kind of advice did those two give you?
Well, it's a long story, but my video, I added in there, and I did not use it at all in the ranking. I added in there some CBS News study, and I said in the video that I didn't use it for the ranking because I knew it wasn't accurate as far as that, but how many guns per 1,000? And those two ate me alive because I added it in there in the state because, it's absolutely not accurate because people don't really tell you how many guns are in a state. But I used it anyway, so I had to edit it out and fix it for them before they ate me alive, which they were right. People would have ate it alive in the comments. I really didn't figure the video would get any views, but it was totally honest. I told them that it probably wasn't accurate, and I didn't use it in the rankings. I just thought it was an interesting point. But they were probably, but like I said, I didn't think that video was going to get any views, so I wasn't that worried about it.
Boy, you thought wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you got a lot of butthurt Texans out there.
Oh, there's a ton of butthurt Texans. They're everywhere. It wasn't like I was mean to Texas. There's just a few things that caused them in their points in my terrible math point system to place just below. And I mean, and that's what everybody gets upset about. They're like, you could do this and it'd be different. Oh, I realize that. I didn't use that metric in there because it's just not what I used. I got tired of adding in different metrics. So, you could have added a million different things and changed the list any way you wanted, truthfully, the more stuff you added.
I'm just upset that West Virginia didn't rank number one.
Mm-hmm. You and Rich.
Yeah. West Virginia should always be number one on any of those lists, period. It's just the greatest state in the country. Even a guy from Texas like Clover would tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to strangle me if he ever sees me for saying that, but, that's fine. So what was the one state that surprised you the most out of all those?
Well, I didn't really realize Kentucky had the freedoms they have. I knew they got constitutional carry, but I didn't know anything about Kentucky because I never paid no attention to Kentucky, to be honest. And then I was surprised West Virginia ranked decent at all just because I'd always heard the economy in West Virginia, but it still wasn't that bad.
Well, once the economy in West Virginia will go up or down depending on what the coal mines are doing. If the coal mines are running at a steady pace, the economy goes up because there's people working. As soon as they start shutting them down again, it's going to bottom out. So West Virginia would go from what, 5th or 6th on your list to 20th in a hurry. But the poverty level there is unbelievable. I would say a good 70% of the state's probably living at or below poverty level. And it's because of the coal mines. They have put so much time and effort into the coal mines and didn't bother to think, what happens if the coal runs dry? What happens if
Obama's elected president and shuts us down, basically, regulates us to death?
Yeah. I love West Virginia. I will always love West Virginia. But, man, if they'd have had some hindsight 50 years ago, maybe they wouldn't be in the situation they're in right now.
And Ghost is out there whining about Arkansas. Not too many people whined about Arkansas. Ghost and Sergeant Joe Smith and a couple others.
Arkansas has the second most per capita gun owners in the country behind Alaska.
But Arkansas also doesn't have very strong stand your ground laws, so that hurt them. And Arkansas sucks out of the Northwest Arkansas, to be honest. I mean, has Ghost ever been to Little Rock? It's not that great. Northwest Arkansas, Rogers, Bentonville, all that area, that's great. Wonderful. I'd live there in a heartbeat.
I have been through Arkansas. I don't think I've ever spent any real time there.
Northwest Arkansas is absolutely beautiful and a great part of the state. There's tons of jobs there. It's just a good part of the state. The rest of it, nah, I'll pass.
Yeah. I knew Ghost was from Texas. That's not a great big secret. There's a lot of folks that we spend time with on here that's from the great state of Texas. You know, we got Clover and Matt and Little Rock sucks.
Yeah, North
Wow.
Central Arkansas is beautiful also. It just doesn't have the jobs like around Bentonville, Springdale area, Fayetteville, all that. But yeah, I have no doubt North Central Arkansas is beautiful too. We spent plenty of time over there too.
I don't know a whole lot about the state of Arkansas. Like I said, I've never spent a whole lot of time there. I've been through there a couple of times, but
It looks a lot
you
like
know,
West Virginia. I mean, you know, the beautiful countrysides in West Virginia reminds me a
yep,
lot of Arkansas.
yep. I do know there's some good fishing there, really good catfishing. So, and I hear Missouri's got some beautiful places in it too.
Oh
Never
yeah,
been there either. So,
we spend a lot of time in Missouri and Arkansas.
snow blowing so bad you can't see. Whiteout conditions and blizzards. Where in the world are you talking about, G23?
Probably Wyoming because my wife wants to move to Wyoming. We just went to Wyoming Labor Day weekend. We went to Yellowstone, which is, I love Wyoming. I could live there in a heartbeat.
Dude, you can have it. I do not want any part of those winters.
Yeah.
Sheesh. And those are long winters.
Yeah, I don't mind winter, except for in my line of work, winter doesn't pay the bills because they ain't moving houses out. So, and it's hard to work in ice and shoveling snow to work ain't no fun. But if I
And
could afford
apparently,
just to do nothing but run cattle, I'd move to Wyoming in a heartbeat.
what's the what's the my train of thought just went completely nuts because I was reading something Night Strike wrote. Outlaw Hatfield, we need to schedule another rain. That. Okay. Well, wait till you smack your thumb with that bolt one time. You'll might change your mind about how fun that gun is there, Night Strike. Um, but what I was going to ask is, what's the main source of income out in Wyoming? Is it cattle?
Tourism, really.
Really?
What I looked at, tourism is huge in Wyoming. And then there's cattle. There's a lot of coal mining out there too and stuff. And then farming, of course. There's a lot of farming in eastern Wyoming. A lot of big farms.
Yeah. Some of the biggest farms I ever seen was some of them I seen out when I went out west of Oklahoma. There's some big farms out there.
Oh yeah. I don't know how you get into farming. You know, I was raised on a dairy and then we run cattle, but I don't know how you get into actually farming and making a living because they have so many millions of dollars tied up in equipment and land. And
So
then you have to rely on it to rain.
some of the plots of land that I remember seeing, they must have been thousands of acres
Oh yeah.
and owned by one person. I was like, holy crap. You know? And like you said, I don't see how anybody can afford to do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
You'd
just
almost have to inherit half of it to be able to now. Either that or you're just making payments to the bank. It's the only thing you're doing.
going out of my way not to get it. I wish you luck with that Night Strike. But yeah, man, I liked it out there. I'm just not used to that much flat land. I
That's
mean,
what
even
Sarge said whenever he came out here. He's like, you have so much more sky here.
yeah, exactly. I was, I was like, I have never lived in a place. Even here, I have never lived in a place other than there when you could look in one direction and see so far. It's like it never ends. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And I was just amazed by that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I will go. I've been to the beach here and looked out over the ocean, and it looks like there's more land out there than I had ocean in front of me here, and it was like, man, that's crazy.
I love the views when you get up like out really out west. You know, it's just
See,
something about it. I just love it.
I've always wanted to go to New Mexico and Arizona and some of those places and really get out west. You know, they say some of the views out there is just absolutely amazing.
Oh, it is.
But I've just there's a lot of places I'd like to go. I'd love to go and I've always wanted to live in Louisiana. I don't know why. I just always have.
I'll pass on Louisiana. I've spent some time there, and I'm not a Louisiana fan. I don't. It's humid enough in Oklahoma. You talk about humid. Get down in southern Louisiana.
Well, I'm in South Carolina right now. We got all kinds of humidity, so I'm pretty much used to that. It's just another day here. But trust me, New Mexico only has a few things going for.
Yeah, New Mexico's.
Well, you know what, Night Strike? You don't have to go to the cities. There's other places, you know, in other than cities to go to.
Northern New Mexico is pretty. You get up around Taos and even Santa Fe area is pretty.
Mm-hmm. They've actually got mountains in northern New Mexico. That shocked me. That when I found out that, I guess I was 18, 19 years old. And it sort of shocked me. I said, well, I didn't think there's any mountain ranges out that far, but I was wrong.
Oh yeah, mountains there and in New Mexico and Arizona too, up by Flagstaff and stuff. I got pictures of the snow in Flagstaff when we went to SHOT Show last year. We got into Flagstaff at dawn. I mean, at dawn. Of course, we drove all night. We actually met up over in Armentia, and we came out of we ate breakfast at McDonald's before we went to Grand Canyon on the way.
See, that's something I've always wanted to see too, is the Grand Canyon.
And it's neat. I've been there when I was a kid and then went back, and that's pretty neat.
Here's a question from the Sarge. The Gun Snob, is all of Arizona a desert?
He's just trolling now because someone in my video informed me that all of Arizona is not a desert. I was like, yes, this I know. I've been there. It was sarcasm here.
Is all of Nevada a desert?
Oh yeah, it's all of Nevada's a desert, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Ruger is in Prescott, Arizona. Yep, we know this. I'm curious. I will live in Arizona one day, says Kingpin.
I just don't think I'm that interested in Arizona.
You know, out of all the places I've ever lived, I think my absolute favorite was Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Tennessee's a pretty state.
I love Chattanooga. It's got everything you could possibly want. Heck, if you want to go fishing, you just go right downtown. You know, you can't beat that. So, good people. Lots of views, lots of things to see. Anything you want to do, you can do it right there, including the aquarium. So, I don't know why they'd put a aquarium in the middle of a mountain state, but they did. So, quite a bit of ways from the ocean. But it's there.
I mean, we have an aquarium here too.
Isn't that weird that they have saltwater aquariums
here?
Yeah, they have saltwater aquariums out in the middle of land. Problem about Arizona is unless you live in Phoenix area, there's just not a lot around. Otherwise, Tucson and Flagstaff are the other two largest cities, but there's not as much to do as in Phoenix. Well, that's just because you're not looking in the right places there, Night Strike. You can always find something to do. It ain't hard. You get bored, go out and cut your grass. Oh, wait. That takes rain, don't it?
cut your three weeds that grow.
Yeah. Get you a pair of scissors, just go out there and snip, and be done
I
with
don't
it.
know. That's one benefit to living out there in Nevada or Arizona is if you can live in one of them places where you used to have the rocks and don't have to mow your yard is amazing.
Yeah, because I hate cutting grass.
I do too, and I mow about 5 acres. It gets old really quick.
Yeah, that would honestly suck. No, they killed the grass out there, and not much fishing out there either. Well, sometimes you have to sacrifice, Night Sight. Sometimes you just have to sacrifice if you want to live in certain places. You know, sort of like going bear hunting. If I go to Kodiak Island in Alaska to ever hunt bear, I'm taking you with me. I ain't got to outrun the bear. I just got to outrun you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do it on your phone, but if you can, add my screen.
Let's find out.
That wasn't it. He stuck himself out, I think.
Yeah. No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I
should show the Gun Snob screen down there where it shows me in the bottom.
It does. That's what I'm seeing anyway.
Can you touch it?
Yep. I could remove you from the stream, but I really don't want to do that.
Not me. There should be another. There should be two me's. Is there not two me's down there?
Nope. I only see one.
All right. I don't know how to do it for mobile then. The second one's just a picture I was going to show you that I took the other day. You're talking about wide open spaces, but I don't know.
Let's see what I can find here. Hold on.
It ain't no big deal.
See, now you got me trying to get technical. And when it comes to getting technical on this crap, that is not my forte. This is why I have ghosts.
I don't have any clue how you add it from mobile. I've added it from the computer a bunch, but oh well.
Well, when I want to get technical, I either talk to Ghost or I talk to Clover, because those are my two go-to guys. Unless I'm talking about an actual computer, and then I talk to Night Strike. Because I know absolutely zip about that crap. You know, if I want to know something about YouTube or the analytics or something like that, I'll talk to Clover. If I want to know something about how to run something, I'll talk to Ghost. They're my go-tos. See there, you guys, you're helpful. You know, this is how great Ghost is. He sent me a Glock. Ghost sent me a Glock. And I made a video shooting that Glock. I just couldn't get it to go bang for some reason.
It just wouldn't work, huh?
It would not work. I tried and tried. So, but I do appreciate it, Ghost. You know, you sent me a faulty gun, but that's okay.
You got the only Glock that won't go off when you pull the trigger.
Yeah,
I think it's because his finger won't fit in a trigger guard.
Yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. So, I got the only Glock in the world that does not go pop. You know, people have given me so much grief over that, about the whole Glock thing. But, and, you know, it's not that I don't realize Glocks are a fantastic gun. I will admit that. I have admitted that. They're great. They work. They're dependable. They're ugly, and I don't like the grip angle. That's my problems with the Glock. You get me a Glock with a 1911 grip angle, and I'd probably be all over it.
Run a polymer 80.
That'd probably be the only way. So, what is your carry gun these days?
99% of the time, a SIG P320X compact with a red dot.
Do you like it?
I love it. I got that 365 XL with a Romeo 0 on it. That's the two I usually 99% of the time carry. Just depends if I want bigger or smaller.
I am wanting one of the 365s.
Well, I've got the XL, and I love that gun. The 365 is just a little small for my hands. Of course, I got giant hands.
Well, that's what I was talking about, the XL.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the SAS gun. I'm not a fan of that at all, but I do like the XL, and I don't mind because my hand's probably a little smaller than yours, but I don't mind the regular 365. But I can't do that SAS.
And I held it a couple times and looked down. I kind of want one. I don't even know why, but I kind of want one. I just never have pulled the trigger on it. I really want one.
I would be interested to see somebody do a video on one of those for accuracy testing. That's what I'm interested in.
Well, I got a little 380 bodyguard that I've had a long time that it basically stays in the center console of my work truck. And the only time it comes out is when I go in Lowe's or Quick Trip or something, because I don't ever carry while I'm working. It's just unhandy and uncomfortable. So, which I'm working by myself in a house anyways, usually out in the middle of nowhere. So not real concerned. It doesn't concern me. I got a hammer on my side if I need it. But whenever I go in a gas station or anything, I just grab that little bodyguard out and shove it in my pocket. And I've thought very seriously about trading that bodyguard off, or trading it off, or trading it in my truck for a SAS, because I'd like to have one of those little SASs to keep in my pocket.
Yeah. But I would honestly like to see how that sight actually works for accuracy shooting. That's my problem with it. I just not sure if you had to take an accurate shot, you'd be able to do it with that gun. A good aim shot.
Well, it's like this. What I would be trading it out for, I think I could probably shoot it more accurately, because that bodyguard has a terrible trigger.
Oh God!
I mean, I can shoot it pretty accurate, but I don't know. I mean, that's just, that gun's not a great gun to shoot at any distance.
We have Tread out there. How are you, Tread? Let's see if I've missed anything in the chat. Don't look like it. Gary's talking about goats. What the heck? Gary, you okay? I'm starting to worry about you, sir. New York Outcast, Mystic Guns. Enjoy your hot tub. So we got people getting in hot tubs. We've got people talking about goats. Outcast is drinking beer, apparently. Wow. We're all over the place tonight, Snob.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, as long as everybody's having fun, I guess that's all that matters. So, what's the future for your channel? What you got planned? Where would you like to see it go?
I'd like to see it go where I could retire and do nothing but YouTube and cattle, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So I'll probably just keep doing it for fun. Maybe at some point it'll pay its own way. That'd be kind of my goal, that I could.
Well, see, you tell that lovely wife of yours to hurry up and win the lottery, and then you can do that.
Well, I agree. Or she can just go get a good job, and I can sit at home and, be a YouTuber and something else.
Collect pennies on $1 for the next 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's about what YouTubers are getting these days. Unless you've got, 2 million subscribers.
Yeah, if you could have 100,000, you could make some decent money, I think.
I don't think I'll ever see that many. I don't think I'll ever see anywhere close.
I'm not counting on that anytime soon.
You know what though, man? Here's the thing. If you're like me, you do this because you just enjoy doing it. I ain't worried about the sub count. I ain't worried about money. I've completely shut down my Patreon. That's been gone for quite a while. I'm not going to start it back up. Um, I do this because I like doing it. I support the Second Amendment, and I like having guys on here like you that also support the Second Amendment, and get a little backstory on you. Let people know some things that they may or may not have known before. I didn't know you were into cattle until this show. So, what kind of cattle do you raise, by the way?
Limousines. Red
No.
limousines. We got a few black ones, which actually a few years ago, I got this bright idea. Of course, like I said, I was raised on a dairy. So we raised dairy calves when I was a kid. We'd raise the calves that, the moms would have the calves, and we didn't sell our babies. We raised them, bottled or bucket fed them, actually. And then when I was a little older in high school, and so my grandpa, because we quit dairying when I was in middle school, my grandpa decided he was going to start going to Texas and buying Holstein steer calves, because you can buy them for $35-$40 a piece a lot of times, and then just bucket feed them, raise them, make some decent money on them. So a few years ago, I decided that was going to be my genius idea. I'm going to go buy all these things. Well, me, my dad, and grandpa went together on them, and the first bunch we didn't lose too much money on. The second bunch, they got sick, and we lost a fortune on them. But we got them out of, we got the first bunch out of Wisconsin. We went to Wisconsin and got them, and the second bunch we actually got delivered to us, and they weren't nearly as good as calves, but oh well. So I gave up on those Holstein calves because they're a lot of work. We were getting up every morning. Me and Stacy were getting up, I think, at 5 every morning and going up there and bucket feeding them and all that. And then we had to do it that evening when I got home from work. And it was so much work.
And those dairy cows, too?
They were they were Holsteins, but they were just steers. They were just to raise for meat.
Oh.
And when you lose $8,000 on a bunch of them, you're just done after all that time and effort into them.
I don't know. It seems like beef cattle would be easier to raise than dairy.
Well, they are, because their moms feed them. You don't have to worry about the calves. Basically, they're better calves because they're raised on their mom's milk, not milk replacer.
Well, that and you don't have to worry about the storage of the milk and
When
we actually
dairied, we had dairy cattle with we had a big milk tank that they came every other day with a semi and emptied it. 1,000-gallon tank.
How long does it take or how many cows or how much cattle does it take to actually fill one of those tanks?
Hey, Lord, that was years ago. We had a 1,000-gallon tank. They emptied it every 2 days, and I think we milked around 100 head a day, and that would be twice a day, morning and evening.
Lord.
So
that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
But then my dad sold out whenever I was in middle school because it just got to be where the big dairies had taken over, and you couldn't make any money as a small dairy really, because those big dairies milk round the clock and they milk thousands upon thousands of head a day. The commercial dairies. So
did you do the pasteurizing there, or was it taken off to pasteurize, or?
No, they came and did it, and then they processed it all. I mean, we drank the milk right out of the tank and sold a lot of it right out of the tank. You'd sell all the neighbors, people from town would come out and buy a gallon of milk, and you just get it right out of the tank.
Don't have to worry about it being fresh, I guess.
No, it's the best milk because it still has the cream in it too. Then hadn't been separated, and that's the best chocolate milk you can have.
I have never had milk like that.
It is absolutely amazing. Now, don't ask your buddy Night Strike. He'll tell you can't drink that non-pasteurized stuff. Me and him got an argument over one night. He told me it was going to kill me or something.
That ain't going to kill you. People been drinking milk like that for thousands of years.
I said, that's how I was raised on them. Yeah, me and him got in a fight over it one night.
Night Strike, people drink straight goat milk too. Been doing it for thousands of years. It's just a thing, man. You reckon they pasteurized the milk the same way they do now 300 years ago? They go out, milk the cow, drink the milk.
No, I
That's the
wouldn't
way
want
it
to.
works.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't drink unpasteurized milk from a commercial dairy. There's no way. The milk thousands ahead. There's just no way. But
Well,
a
yeah,
small
but
dairy, no problem.
back in the day, though, if you had 2 or 3 milk cows, you was doing good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they normally had was 1, 2, maybe 3, and that'd be your milk for whenever you needed it.
And no, Night Strike, we don't raise Angus. We had good luck with limousines and try to keep our herd all limousine.
Yeah, I was listening to you talk the other night about branding them. You still brand them the way they used to?
Well, kind of. We still have the old branding irons made out of steel that you heat in a little fire, but we use an electric branding iron, so it's a lot easier. You just plug it in and
Get it hot and
heats
stick
up.
it on.
Yeah, it does it all pretty easy. It used to be when I was a kid, we branded everything. We had a little fire ring. We'd build a fire in and lay the irons in them.
Take about 10 minutes to get them hot enough to do what they need to do. Tell you a story real quick. Years ago, I had this job working at a leather shop, and this woman come in, and she had been out west, and she had this beautiful pair of lizard boots that she had bought, gorgeous boots. And apparently they got together at the ranch one night, wherever she was, and they were taking the branding irons and branding their boots with the branding irons. And apparently it worked on the leather, but it didn't do so well on those lizard skin boots. And she brought those boots in and asked if we can fix them. And the guy that ran the shop just looked at her and says, "What the hell did you do to these boots?" And she told him, and he had a heart attack. He sold her the boots to begin with. And he was like, "There ain't nothing I can do. You've ruined them." So there's a lesson for you. Do not try to brand lizard or snake skin boots. It won't work. Good Lord. You would think common sense would tell you that.
Mm-hmm. You'd think, but I guess a lot of people, common sense didn't pass them by.
Yeah, well.
Hang on 2 seconds. My beagle is dying to go out of my office. And she's about to drive me insane. I got to let her out the door.
She's hungry. She ain't ate in an hour.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back, sir. I never said it would kill you. I just said if you only drink pasteurized milk, if you started drinking unpasteurized milk, you'll get sick until you build up a resistance.
And I'm pretty sure he told me it was going to kill me. I'm going with he was going to kill me. Well, that's Gary. Gary will tell us the truth.
Gary, what you say, sir? If you're still asleep or awake, we haven't bored you completely to death. The Outlaw Hatfield, are you still working at PSA? Tread, I do not want to get into that. I will answer this one question. Yes. And that will be all that I say about PSA.
See, Gary's taking it for me. Night Strike lost on this one. He's just forgot what he said.
2 against 1, Night Strike. It looks like you're out, Bubba. Yeah, I'm not allowed to discuss work or anything pertaining to work on the channel. So I'm going to just leave that right there. Anyway, Snob, Bubba, I appreciate you being here. I think we're going to call it quits for the night. I think we've had a good time.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. It was fun.
I have really enjoyed this. Is there anything you'd like to plug? Get it off your chest? Anything you'd like to say?
Other than Gizzard, We're trying to get Gizzard to 1,000. So if you ain't sub to Gizzard, go sub to Gizzard.
There you go, Gizzard. He's giving you the plug. He loves you. Don't forget the two-way rally at the in Pennsylvania tomorrow. Midnight Range is expecting you to be there with bells on. If you can manage to be there, please do. I will be back Saturday night to do another of the wrestling chats with Rich White. So we're going to try to make that a weekly thing. Sarge, anytime you want to jump in there, you know you're welcome. We'd love to have you. As for next week, if you guys have any suggestions, shoot me an email. I'd love to hear your suggestions on who you'd like to see as a guest. Somebody had said at the beginning that I think he was wanting me to get a hold of Alaskan Ballistics, and I'm all for that. I'll try to do that this week and see what I can arrange for next week. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you. We love you. God bless. Be careful. Support the Second Amendment. Bye.
Later.